Good morning, Rev Squad. Woo, who is excited about today's training? I'm excited about today's training. I'm not going to lie, because this queen that is joining us today is ridiculous in every good possible way. She's amazing. She jumped on our Saturday training last week and was like, this is so great. And anyway, so I'm like, you're so great. How about you come train? Anyway, she was super excited and I'm honored that she's going to take some time. I know her Saturday's crazy. She was talking about how she's got ball games with her kiddos and it's going to be crazy, but she's still taking out time to share some of her best tips and tricks. Because here's the thing. I have a very, very large team. The Revolution Squad, very large team. Most all of the top like recruiters in the whole company are on this team. And Jade is like every month at the top of my list. You know, you can go to your back office and you can pull those cute little reports and it always tells you like who your top 10 is, always at the top. And then if you ever go to an Amani event, she's scooping up all the awards because she produces. And here's the thing. I know that some people would say, yeah, but we got the whole yeah, but factor. Yeah, but look at her hair. Yeah, look at her hair and look at her before and look at her after. Here's the thing. She's had amazing results, as have a ton of people in the company. Oh, we got people in the waiting room. Hold on. I thought I turned off security. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Admit. Sorry, guys. We still got people jumping in. She could have just had great results and not refined her ability to recruit and to sponsor new business partners. She's at the top of the boards on business partner sponsoring as well. I mean, we all overlook that. Well, I overlook that a little bit when I see the sheer amount of VAPs she brings in every single month. It's always over 100, always over 100. I had 40 VIPs last month and I'm like, what the heck? Who is this? And then, you know, wait, no. Sorry, got notifications popping up. Anyway, but the thing is she could just have a great before and after result. But if she didn't refine the way that she talked to customers and closed the deal, she wouldn't have the results she's got. So she puts the work in. And I think that's what we all have to think about. So don't do the comparison game. I don't have the mermaid hair to my waist. I don't have it. I probably never will. My hair has never been the mermaid hair. But you can still use your abilities to prospect and recruit your results, other people's results, but fine tuning how you're having these conversations and how you're making recommendations, guys, that's the key to being successful in this. You can be in your own lane and be super successful if you will learn the skills. That's what we hear Eric Worre teaching us all the time, is a lot of what we do in network marketing is skills and learning the skills. And so that's why I love doing the Saturday trainings. I love bringing in people that are killing it in their business, who are willing to share their tips and tricks, because like I learn something new all the time when I watch these market partners that are out there just absolutely killing it. So I'm just super excited. Golly molly, we got 227 and climbing. It's just steadily climbing. So if you don't know who Jade is, Jade Free, she's the gorgeous little mermaid right there. She's going to jump in. I'm going to let her talk about her numbers I just pulled a report right before I jumped on here and I'm like, holy crap. It's crazy. She is amazing. It's so amazing. Her and Abigail Tamaron, and there's a couple of others that they're all right in like this. They're just all killing it in their business. And I'm so stinking proud of them, first of all, because it's amazing. And she's earning, you know, time and financial freedom. We're not supposed to say that technically. Don't go post that on your social media. But she really is, because she's going to be able to dance back and forth between her kids' ball game and do a training and then sign up VIPs during that too. And I love the freedom that gives us in our business to live the life that we want. So Jade, she is an associate executive director, right?
Yes.
Okay. Associate executive director. And I mean, who even cares what the title is? Because the VIPs that this woman gets every single month consistently is borderline obscene in the best possible way. The best possible way. It's so amazing. Jade, first of all, I want you to tell everyone, like, when did you start with Monit?
Yeah. So, and one thing you said real quick, going off of when I started, when people have the yeah, but like, and they look at somebody's hair and you look at somebody's like chapter 12 and you forget that they've already gone through the whole beginning of the book. My hair has looked pretty much like it has now, I would say 3 years out of me doing Monat. And I'm only on 2 years of having the business that I have because my verbiage wasn't there. It wasn't clear. I didn't have systems in place. I didn't know how to convert somebody to, hey, I'm interested, to, hey, they're ghosting me. Like, I've been through all the things. And I think the skills and the action and the messy action and being consistent is truly what's gotten me where I am now. So don't ever think and look at the yeah, but, because that will kill your business more than anything. But I'm actually coming up on 5 years in April. And my first year, I was the market partner that did nothing. I had no smart start, no blocks, no any of that. I wasn't really sure if I was even going to be into this thing or not. So I've been like working my business for 4 years, coming up on April.
That's amazing. And the yeah, but you guys write that down. We all get them. We all have them. I get the yeah, but all the time. Well, she started in the beginning. And I'm just like, yeah, but right back at you, because there was a lot of people that signed up in the beginning that aren't even working their business now. It takes the messy action, just like Jade said. So I wanted to point that out because I look at Jade and it can be intimidating when you see hair like that and the absolute confidence she has in the product she offers. But when you look at her before, I should have pulled up a before picture so you guys could see if you have not. And real quick, Jade, can you just shout out what your Instagram handle is so that everybody can go follow you if you don't for some reason follow her?
Yeah, so it's Taylor, which is my first name, with the underscore Jade. I go by Jade, and then there's the number 1. I can write it in the chat too at some point.
Kelly, my trusty Kelly Roberts will put it in there for us, I'm sure. Kelly Roberts is amazing. She'll be dropping it. We'll just drop it occasionally. You guys make sure and go follow her because you're gonna learn so much from her. She is doing nothing but providing value on her social media. It is not a look at me social media. Look how great I am. It is value, value, value. And that's why she's got the followers she's got. And that's why absolutely she's a powerhouse. That's why she's killing it in her business. Yes, I love, they're loving that you shared your start in the business because people just look at you and you look at your hair and your success and they think, oh, wow, well, yeah, but it's her hair. And so for you to talk about the first year of not even doing the business, like how many of us can relate to that?
I mean, yeah, I was literally sitting on my behind. I had every excuse. Yeah, but my upline's not helping me because my direct girl, I mean, to be professional, but you guys probably have no idea who she is, if I'm being honest. And like, I had the yeah, but AJ is so much higher than me and she's been doing it longer and like all the things. I just had a baby. And so my first whole year was consumed of that. And then I saw what the opportunity could do for my family and was like, what am I doing? Like, I need to try. I just need to try. Let me try for a year and see what happens. And that was like when COVID picked up, was literally when I picked my business up. So I've even been through that season. Like that season is not the season that we're in right now. That was, everybody's business was so different then to now. And you really have to just do things until they don't work. And then when they stop working, then you pivot and you find the new thing. And hopefully now I feel like we're in a pretty like steady state where you can get systems in place. And I cannot preach to you enough how much confidence is so important. And when you guys think about your social media, I saw this quote and I thought I screenshot it this morning, so I probably won't say it exactly, but I sent it to my group chat and it said, instead of thinking as your Instagram as creating content, think of it as branding and advertising and marketing exactly what you're doing, like demonstrating, educating. Every single reel that I post is educating or demonstrating. People want to see how to use the product. And if I use that product, what is it going to do for me? Because that's what people want. What is it going to do for me? What is it going to change? If my hair looks like this, what's the potential of what it can look like? And my mom, believe it or not, was the one, and it was about 2 years ago. And she was like, girl, I have all these products. I don't know how to use half of them. Like, I need visual videos. Like, your page should be visual videos of how to use everything that you use, different ways you can use it. And it was like a light bulb went off. And when she said that, I took that and ran with it, because now I'm like, I cannot post anything that's not educating or demonstrating. Whether
And
that's business, whether that's with product, whether it's with just whatever your niche is. Like, if you're in skincare, like, how do you use it when you wake up in the morning? Like, we're using the product. So we really just have to put the emphasis on broadcasting that. Like, when you're using them, think about, like, how could I be educating someone right now or showing them my simple routine?
that is, guys, write it down. And when you go look back through her page and scroll, it's all education. I learn stuff from her all the time. I've been in with Monade almost 10 years. I'm still learning things. And that's the cool thing about what she does. And that's why her following grows very consistently, because she's always educating. Don't ever forget, social media is not the picture sharing app that it used to be. People don't want to see how cute you look on the beach. I mean, they do. Let's be honest, they do. But they want to know, like Jade said, she nailed it. What's in it for me? Like, if I'm going to look at your content and take time to follow you, what's in it for me? With Jade, it's very clear. Okay, wow, stunner hair. What's going on here? But you start scrolling and you go down the scroll hole, because she's just nothing but value. It's always value. Sometimes she's maybe yapping back at the trolls and showing that she does not have extensions in. I particularly love those because they crack me up. But for the most part, in all seriousness, demonstrating and educating, I love it. Write it down, guys. And if you're puzzling over what your niche is or what you should be doing, find something you love, something you're sharing, and figure out a way to educate people on it and demoing, and you will have people come, hands down. So, okay. Let's just talk about your VIPs, Jade. Okay, so first of all, like your day. Okay, so when you did start working your business, what was your average VIPs in a month when you really did start trying to, hey, I'm going to do this?
I think the first month I knocked out like 15, and I like rocked my world. I was like, okay, I've got 15 VIPs. And honestly, a lot of those were from word of mouth. Like, my mom's, whatever your situation is, but she worked in a plastic surgery center. And I was like, look, you need to take this oil to work. I need you to do something with it. Like, put it in your hair, do something, like, try to get people to see you're using it, talk to them. And same with my friends and in the gym. I was like, I'm just going to go all in. And I'm just going to see what the outcome is after I do this for like 8-10 months. You can't go all in for 2 weeks and be like, oh, I haven't signed a single VIP. Like, go all in and put a date on it for how long you're going to do that. But yeah, a lot of them were just word of mouth. So I think I was averaging, like, I don't know, I wasn't averaging 15, but I do remember that first month I had 15. I'd have some months where I had 4 or 5 or none. I remember some months, even when I was actually hitting I was panicking, and like, I was like, what am I doing? Like, I need to figure out how I can demonstrate to my girls what their business should look like. I have got to be bringing in VIPs. And I think that was around the time where I started shifting my social media. And honestly, just talking more. Like, I love my business. Like, I tell my girls all the time, as silly as it sounds, like, if you opened up a coffee shop and you poured in all your savings and all your time and all your effort to open it up, you would never put the open sign on it and you'd be handing out free coffee. Come to my shop. Here's a flyer. Here's this. Like, you would be loud and proud. And I am always talking about my business. I find a way, whether we're on the baseball field, I'm in the gym, we're in Fresh Market, we're wherever, like, you talk and then your business just comes out because you love it. And this is what I do. And this is why I live the life that I live, is because of this right here. So I just started talking to a lot of people. So I was just kind of bouncing around between, none to 15. Like, that was like my highest that I was doing before.
Which is still not awful. For a lot of people, they're like, I'd like to have 15 VIPs. But guys, did you know one thing she said? It just came out everywhere she went. And this is what we preach all the time. An open mouth is an open business. That open sign, we don't have a storefront. We're the storefront, and you've got to be open for business everywhere you go. People have hair and they wash it, and they have a face and they wash it. So the question is never, I can't find anybody else to talk to. The question is always, are you willing? Are you willing? And Jade learned If she wasn't willing, her business wasn't moving. So I love it. Okay, so Jade, tell us, like, VIPs this month.
I think I've signed like between 130 and 140.
Yeah, in a month. One month. That's 1 month. And she does that consistently. That's not just oh wow, that was a big high. She does that consistently, and it's insane. And as it happens, she's #1 in market partner recruiting on my team this month, which means she's pretty much #1 in the whole company. That's what, if we're being honest, that's what that means. So market partners this month.
I've had 20
market partners. Year 5. Year 5, guys. Not year 10. This is not her year 10. So the yeah buts don't work there. Year 5, the yeah buts don't work there, that she ran through her hot market the first year. And now what do I do? There's nobody else. This is year 5. And she does this consistently every month. And the reason I say that is not to discourage you, but to say it's achievable. She decided to work on her hair. If you look at her before picture, her hair was not fabulous. She definitely needed some help with her hair. I mean, and mine, like my before picture is insane. I look at that and I cringe. I didn't even realize how bad it was. I thought it wasn't too horrible. And now the after. And so she had to work on that though. She's had to work on everything. And that's the message we want you to have. I don't want you to be discouraged and do the comparison game. I want you to say, oh my gosh, this is possible. If she can do it, I can do it. Okay, so take us through. This is the one thing I think where the skills really come in. And I struggled with this. I have struggled with this, and I'm just figuring it out myself because I've tried so many different things. But the skills to close the deal. So Jade obviously has so many people messaging, I want the product, and all the time. So take us through. Somebody DMs and says, hey, tell me about your hair care products. What do you do? What's your steps to closing the deal?
Yeah. And I'll even backpedal a little, because I remember when that started happening, I was beyond excited. One person said hair, and I was like, oh my gosh, word vomit. And then I'm like, why are they not writing me back? Why am I not closing? I've had 10 conversations today, not one person's closing. So I tried to put myself in the position of a consumer. And I'm like, if I reached out, like, what is the tone that I would want to feel walking in the room? It should be so simple and so direct. There's no like too much back and forth, and even too many questions back and forth. I feel like it fizzles out. People are busy. They have kids. One's probably crying. The phone's ringing. Like, this needs to be like quick questions, solution, check out. So when someone messages me and they say like, hey, I love this one, because I feel like this is like a big thing that I feel proud that I taught my girls with, is when somebody says, hey, what are the products that you use? The only thing I say is I Google the science behind Monat, and this beautiful professional little website bubble pops up. I literally copy and paste it, and I say, hey, this is what I've used for the last 5 years. I leave, and some of my girls are like, you're just leaving it open like that? Like, I like to just put it in their lap, see where it goes. So if somebody says, hey, what products do you use? I send them that link. I say, hey, this is what I've used for the last 5 years. If I feel like I've seen them interacting with a lot of my content already, then I will say, or you could say, were you looking to do a hair consult? When somebody messaged me and says, hey, I'd like to do a hair consult, I go right into it. Hey, girl, I would love to help you get started. Tell me all the things. What's your biggest concern and what's your biggest hair goal? They answer that. And within that, honestly, normally people spill all the beans. Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, it's so dry. It's so brittle. It's breaking. I have to wash it every day. Blah, blah. Like, they start telling you all these things. So I literally take the things that they tell me and put them right into a conversation with them, with their problem and my solution. Oh my gosh. Well, listen, if you are dealing with dry, brittle hair, then you need X. And if you're having to, wash it every day so your scalp feels blah, 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 then you need X. Like, problem, solution. Super simple. I give them those recommendations. And then the way I summarize it is with whatever my sale is that day. So what I'm going to do today is, and you always assume the sale, not like, do you think you'd be interested? I know it's expensive. They last a long time. Like, you go in full force, confident. Here's my solution. And in your mind, like, take it or leave it. Like, don't question yourself. Like, here's the solution. You're coming to me with a problem. Here's my sale. Here's what I can offer today. The products last 5 to 6 months. I'm done. Like, I'm in and out of the conversation. 90% of the time they say, oh my God, how do I buy it? Where's the link? You have the link ready. I send them the link. I explain the checkout process. And then once they check out, I try to make sure I tell them, I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to see how your hair, breakage improves, like blah, blah, blah. Give them something to look forward to. As soon as you get the products, let me know. We'll touch base. I'll tell you how to use them. And if I'm being honest, like 99.999% of my team does the same thing. And we have seen the success from it. And it works. And it's like, just have the conversation with them. Don't push them to something else. Like, everybody does everything different. And there are girls that do incredible with VIPs that do things differently. So I do think it's important too, to like find a system, stick to it. If it works for you, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So this is working. And I feel like I do have some people that come to me and they're like, please don't throw a hair quiz at me. And I'm like, what? And they're like, I don't know. Like, I've done other things, or I've done other, MLMs. Somebody sends me a quiz. Like, can you just talk to me? People want to be heard and want to be talked to. So I feel like that's what I have found has worked for me. And I love it because that's honestly how I would want to spend my money. Like, my hair's breaking. She told me what to use for it to stop breaking. My scalp is oily. She told me how to make it not oily. She's going to walk me through it. She's my personal consultant. She's mine. Here's my money. Help me. Like, they want help. So they want to know what the solution is before they buy it. And then another thing that I'll do is, if they give me any pushback, sometimes you pushing back a little bit too. Like, and I know some of these things are scary, because when I first started and I was not signing up VIPs like this, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'll do anything at this point. Like, maybe I'll lower the price or whatever. I send them, I have a highlight, or I have a few, but I have highlights on my Instagram that are named, I think it says like VIP reviews or VIP experience. Every single time somebody says, Jade, my hair, can't believe it, feel beautiful, my husband said this, whatever, screenshot it, make it look professional, save it. I post it to my story and I save it to that. So if anybody gives me pushback, I say, I would love for you to look through this. I have about 3,000 clients. I have all of these testimonies saved to my page. I would love for you to just skim through. Within 30 seconds, they're literally normally like, oh my gosh, I relate so much to this one. I cannot believe this lady had hair fall like me, and now look at her hair fall. Put things that are relatable. If you're a curly girl, you have got to have curly girl reviews, if that's what you're, trying to pull in as your niche. If you're blonde, like, show before and afters, have verbal reviews saying like, look at my hair, even my hairdresser, like, those are my favorite. Even my hairdresser's blown away by my hair. Like, all these things are saved to my page so that I can send it to them. So I say, look through here, take a minute, take your time. There's no pressure. And I let them look through that. And then in hope, most of the time they do come back and say like, oh my gosh, yes, this is what I need. Like, please help me. So the conversation's pretty quick. I don't try to leave any room for me to like lose them. Like, I try not to ask too many questions. If they don't give me enough, then of course I'll be like, okay, that was so helpful. Like, how much are you washing your hair? Are you washing daily, whatever? But normally when you just let someone talk, they will tell you all the things that they want help with from you, because that's what they're looking for, really.
I think that's the ultimate quiz. We've had a lot of questions about the quiz. Wait, we don't do a quiz? And then I saw somebody from your team comment, we literally do not use a hair quiz. And I think it's blowing everybody's mind right now.
Sorry. Yeah, I think you're the quiz. You are the hair quiz. You are Monet. You are your business. You're the face of it. You're the quiz. You're the solution. You are everything. The more you give yourself to someone, and it should be quick. Like, there's so many different systems. You could use boards. You could use, because I've had people be like, wait, you talk to all these people? And I'm like, yeah, but I also don't talk to them a lot either. Like, I use all the systems that I can to make it easier. And I try to start everybody very basic. I'm not like, how do you style your hair? What hair, do you want hairspray? Like, I'm like, shampoo, conditioner, leave-in, serum, or oil. I'm not going outside of that box. I literally recommend the same bundle, obviously customized with their shampoo and conditioner, but it's the same every single time. And so is my verbiage. I don't change it. Hopefully I'm not freaking everyone out. They're like, who is this girl with the quiz? Oh God. I can't see the chat.
I'm looking through it. There's a lot of questions, so we'll come back. Okay, so it's freaking some people out because they're taught to use the quiz. Everybody was taught to use the quiz. And I asked personally, I maybe ask 3 or 4 questions. Like, that's it. I don't ask a bunch because I've learned, I used to have this big long quiz that I would send them. I would set up a jot form and have them go fill out a form. And I think what Jade said is you have to put yourself in the position of a consumer. And that's what I did. My personality type is if I have to go click a link and fill out a form and give my email and give my phone number, and I'm going to wait for 24 hours before they get back with me, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. When I message them and they respond back, somebody with the following that Jade has to know she's going to reach back to them and do a personal consult, that speaks volumes. That's someone you want to do business with. So
don't get freaked out, guys. Like, there's so many different ways to do things. Like, I see a lot of girls who are very successful that do the hair quiz. So don't get freaked out. Listen, my worst thing when I started this business is I would get on a call with AJ, and then I would get on a call with Ann, and then I get on a call and hear Jacqueline, and I would freak out and be like, she said to do this, she said not to do that. And everybody does everything different, and that is totally okay. And I think the best advice is get on a call, take what you like, leave what you don't, and try things, experiment, like if you're new in your business. But I just feel like when you give someone your time, they're more inclined to give you their money. Like, that's a fair trade. Like, and so you can use the quiz. If you're using the quiz and it's working, then like I said, don't fix what's not broken. If you are using the quiz and it's not working, try something new. Try having conversations with people. Because if you think about it, if you went to a hair salon and you sat down in the chair and she handed you a piece of paper and said, here you go, like, tell me what you want today, I'd be like, what? Like, talk to me. I don't know. Like, help me figure out, like, maybe I need a trim. Like, it's just personable, and people love that. And I think that it makes the conversion easier because I am going to have the conversation all the way to the end until they say, send me the link. How do I buy it? Please help me, like, whatever, because you sound knowledgeable too. Like, your problem is this, I have the solution. So I just think it makes it flow better. Like, you don't want to push. I feel like my strategy is if you have them here, don't push them over here and then try to get them back over here to have the conversation with you to check out if you're pushing them to the quiz. So this is just my take. Obviously my way is not the only way. So
I agree. No, and when I said people are freaking out, I think it blew their mind that it kind of gives them permission to not do all the things.
Oh, yeah.
If you're doing all the things and it's working, then do all the things, like whatever you're comfortable with. And that was me. I was doing all the things for 9 years. And this last year, I finally figured out I got to simplify this because I had inquiries all the time and I was not closing the deal. Like my VIP acquisition was ridiculously awful. And when I started finally having people come to me because I started talking about the product, it was amazing to me. And I still wasn't closing the deal. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So personally, I do not use the Monate quiz. That does not work for me. I know Monica Hobbs does. And she signs up a lot of VIPs every month. She's really consistent. So if it's working, don't stop doing it because Jade said not to do it. Like, this is what works for her, but she's duplicating this with her team. And I think the results don't lie. So find what works. But I think at the end of the day, no matter how you're doing it, simplifying the conversation is absolutely key because people don't want to mess with all the stuff. They just usually don't, right? One thing, a couple questions that have popped up. Number one, what if you're a new market partner and I don't know how to make recommendations? So how do you train your new market partners?
So I basically have, and you said it earlier, like action, doing it, seeing it, repetition, all those things I feel like are the best way to learn. And in my group chat, I have some incredible leaders. Like, we work so close together, and I think that's why we have such a good rhythm and system down. But there are girls that know they are qualified to answer hair consults. And in our group chat, we have a system, and it has been working since I started that group chat, which I think was 4 years ago. But we have, like, common courtesy in a chat. Like, if you see somebody send a hair consult, just sit back until it's answered so it doesn't get skipped over. We'll send recommendations. And I feel like new people, even girls in the past week, have been like, oh my gosh, I feel like I could literally just do a hair consult at this point. Like, every single time you have somebody with super oily, super fine, thin hair, y'all always say the same shampoo. And every time somebody is not like that, like, so them seeing the consults and then seeing the recommendations, and it's normally a little blurb, like, well, if she has dandruff, like, maybe add like the scalp scrub. And so after like a week, I feel like they feel really confident with it. And we do that, like, even with questions, like, have some type of home base for your team that is just full of value, and the more value and the more they see it. And I feel like it kind of gets us all excited too, because we're like, oh my gosh, this girl's had like 6 hair consults today. Like, I need to get it together. But I feel like, it's working really well for us. So that's how we do that. Obviously, you had mentioned like the certifications too. So I do encourage that too, if you can go in and do your hair and skin certification. But I think that the group chat honestly has like led us to good success with that.
Okay, I love that. So a lot of questions popping up from that, of course. If you haven't done the certifications, I mean, get the certifications done. They're basic knowledge, and that's personally where I send new market partners. Just do these, like, just do these. Then do you have as a team like a cheat sheet, like a basic cheat sheet guide, or do you just utilize your chats for recommendations?
We just do the chat, but we do have like a YouTube page that has like all different videos, all different topics, and one of them is like a product knowledge video if they need to go refer to that. So right now, that's all we have.
Okay. 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 So one thing that popped up, there's quite a few things. One thing that popped up was, oh, wait a second. Let me see. Okay. Cold market reach outs. Do you ever do that?
I feel like that's so tricky, because I feel like there's conversation that you can have with a cold market person, and then your business comes up. I have absolutely done that. Have I just said like, hey, you're so pretty, I feel like you could be great on my team or something? Like, I don't know why. Like, I hate that word cold market reach out, because I think that's what we all think. We all think like, ew, don't do that. Have I had conversations with people in the gym? Like, literally the other day, this lady came up to me and was like, is that your hair? And like started talking to me. And then she started telling me like, oh my gosh, I used to do Mary Kay. Absolutely. It's like, told her like, okay, well, listen, and gave her the whole spiel about our business. And like, she was super interested and asked for a cart to sign up. Like, that to me is cold market. But I think that there's a right way to do it. And then I really love, more than anything, just attracting people. Out of those 20 MPs this month, I think, I'd have to go back and look. It was either 15 or 17, I can't remember, were VIP upgrades. My favorite market partner, and no offense to anybody on here who's not, but is a VIP upgrade, because they know the process. They fell in love with you and what you did for them. And you literally put right front stage and center, like, this is how you run your business. Remember that conversation we had when you first, oh, yep, got it. Okay, so that's how I do the hair consult. Remember how I sent you the link to get checked out? And then here we are. Like, you told me you were in love with your hair, and I'm like, girl, this is why I do what I do. I love my job. I get to help people every day fall in love with their hair again. And like, we're in the service industry. It's amazing. It's a great opportunity. So my favorite is that, only because they have a really good outline of what it looks like. So most of my market partners are VIP upgrades, but with the cold reach out, I don't know. I feel like that could go one way or another. I'm not really big on it, if I'm being honest. I like there to be some sort of connection or relationship, like long game, some of my market partners that, when you say like, oh my gosh, this girl would be like my dream market partner, like they were long game, and long game can be 2 weeks. Like, sign them up as a VIP first. And I know sometimes you're like, oh, I don't want to do that. Like, I want to seal her as a market partner right now. And I get that. But sometimes patience is the best thing you can do. And I have even discouraged someone and been like, listen, I think you should sign up as a VIP first. I want you to have the full experience. I want you to try the product and see why I fell in love with it. And then you can just upgrade to a market partner. And to you, that may be scary. And they're like, well, wait a second. Like, you don't want me as a market partner? Like, I want to be a market partner. Like, I feel like I've had literally people say that. And I'm like, listen, but look what happened though. You had the product. You didn't waste any of your smart start. You knew exactly what my whole thing was on how to do the console and all that jazz. So everybody is going to be a different situation. And I think that with recruiting, you have to be so aware of that. Like, you have to read the room, and you truly have to be a chameleon, being a leader and a recruiter, because you have to be able to have different conversations and sense that like, this girl's not the one. She's not the one that I can just say cold market message, or maybe this girl is. You're having a conversation, you feel it, run with it. Like, use your instinct. So did that answer your question in a long?
Yes, no, that was good. That was good. And I think maybe because some people are taught to like to get your business started or whatever, you go through social media and you literally go follow people that you think would be great and cold message them about, and I don't know that they really do that so much about the product. I think it's more focused towards the business, but yes, I think that's great. And cold market is just basically what that means is people you don't know that don't know you. Your warm market is anyone that knows you and you know them. That's your warm market. You know them. Cold market is you don't know them, but there's still ways to do it without being a Spamla Anderson. And I think Jade just explained that really, really well. Okay. So a lot of questions. Number one, how do you handle, like when you're having the conversation with people, how do you explain the preferred customer, the VIP program to them? Like, what's your verbiage for that? Because there's a lot of people that get ghosted when they get into that part. And I think a lot of times it can be from not explaining it in the right way. So how do you do that?
So not to freak you guys out again, I really don't. I don't explain too much. Like, here's the cart. Here's how you check out. Everything's ready for you. Super simple. The flex ship is basically just a placeholder for you to use or not use at any given point. Totally adjustable, super easy. Let me know when you get everything. Like, I am like super simple. I feel like, I don't know, like they already feel the perk. Like, they're talking to you. They are getting the discount. They're getting the sale. Now, if somebody asks me, that's a different story. If they say, what's this fee? What's this thing on here that's $19? I say that's for me, because you are now going to have a back door to me. You can text my work number. We can troubleshoot if we need to. I'll be here to keep you updated on all the sales. You'll have wash instructions. That's access to me. And then also you get a birthday coupon, all your perks, discounts, and sales. Like, super simple. And again, there's 1,000 different ways to explain that, but that is how I personally explain that. I try to keep everything like as simple as possible.
I think that is absolute key to successfully enrolling and maintaining a customer base. And from personal experience, I used to, oh, blah, 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 blah. And then I think sometimes we get a little apologetic when somebody gives pushback on it and they're like, well, wait, what's this? Why do I have to have another order? Can you just take that off? I love that she's just saying that's for me. This is your access to me. This is your placeholder. I think you guys are going to want to watch this back and take notes because we're going kind of fast, but that is so good. And it's not that she's not telling him and she's trying to do the bait and switch. It's just that, no, it's necessary. And people at this point are ready to buy and they trust the recommendations, so they're in. And I think my personal experience, when I quit making a big deal about it, and sometimes I'll even say that's kind of like, think of it as a Costco membership or a Sam's Club that gives you all the perks that the company offers. And it's a one-time thing. And think about it, guys, all the things you're a member for to get the perks, it's an annual renewal. Like Costco, I'm paying almost $100 a year for my membership. But I do that because it gives me access to really great deals and really great product. Amazon Prime, I pay $100 a year for that because I get all the perks of Amazon Prime, and I do it without even blinking because it's worth it. So when you are not apologetic about it, like be very unapologetic about offering what the perks are. We've got the best freaking preferred customer program out there. So if you're getting people doing the pushback on that, and maybe you're not explaining it the right way, and I love the simplicity that Jade teaches. That's why it's working. That's why she's duplicating so much, because she's fined it down to simplicity. Okay, another one. Voice note. Do you use voice notes, or do you usually it's just texting it out? Like, because we've heard a lot about, hey, voice notes more personal. It's better. Like, how do you handle that? Do you do a lot of voice notes or what?
Is that in reference to
Voice message
or text, like VIP or market partner, or just in general?
on
Like,
social media, when they're reaching out to you and you're making when you're doing a consult and going the back and forth, do you use voice note? Do you type it out? What's your preferred method?
I always type it because I just think, like, you don't know what they're doing. They could be at work. They could be in front of a friend. Like, maybe they don't want to spill the beans of like what they're doing. I feel like it's just more private to text them. And then that way too, like I said, if they're at work or with their kids screaming and they're like, oh, I can't hear it, I'll listen later. And now they just forgot to write you back. So I just text it out.
Okay, I love that. That question was asked probably 10 times. So that's awesome. Okay, and then the big wiggity dog. How do you maintain? You said you have over 3,000 VIPs. What do you do monthly maintaining them? What is your follow-up system for them? Do you have like project broadcast? How do you handle that? Because that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. But I do use project broadcast, and I feel like I stay really organized with it. I have someone that helps me like every week to update it with new VIPs in a folder. So I know to text them and say like, hey, this is Jade, this is my work number, blah, blah, blah. And then I send out the sale that way. So I really literally take them from Instagram straight to broadcast. I'm like, listen, my DMs are wild. Don't try to DM me, because if I miss it, then I don't want you to be waiting on me. Just text me. And so I literally take them from my DMs right to my broadcast.
Okay, I love that. And so do you like your follow-up? So like, what do you typically send people when, so you've signed up a new market part or VIP, they got their product. What do? Do you have like made videos that you send them? Do you send them corporate videos on how to use the product, or do you just send them like instructions?
I send them my reels. Like, that's why I think it's so important to like let them be the education. I'm like, here's wash instructions. I have a wash instructions reel. Here's how to use the serum, in my reel. Here's how to do the oil. Like, I literally have a video for everything. How do I use the scrub? Here you go. And it's written out in the caption. So I literally just have all those saved, like scrub, ACV rinse, oil, serum, wash instructions. And then I just send them. Like, I'm like, send me a picture of your products. I send them the video. And then I say, of course, like, if you have questions and need anything written out, let me know. And I have that stuff like pre-written if I need it. But I send them right back to my page. And a lot of my customers will say, I already know how to use everything. I've already looked.
They've already watched you.
Looked at the wash instructions. I'm good. I'll keep you posted. I'm like, okay.
Okay, guys, that's genius though. Like, you should be doing this anyway. Like she said at the very beginning of the call, you need to be educating people. And you need to be demonstrating and educating. But what you're doing when you're doing that is you're creating tools that you can use later on to remarket the product to people. Or if somebody has a question, it's brilliant. I think everybody needs to make a list of all the videos they need to be doing and doing them. Okay, let me see. Okay, this was asked a ton. Can you just give us some basic recommendations? So I'm going to throw some trouble, like I get messaged this all the time. Okay, so I have really oily scalp, but I have broken ends because I bleached the heck out of my hair. What do I need?
I guess it depends on how often they're washing. I would probably ask that, but most likely black shampoo, clinical conditioner, either the bonding leave-in or the Rejuva beads. And then obviously too, depending on the sale, because I make sure, like, if the scrub is in there, 100% she's getting the scalp scrub, or if the oil's in there, 100% she's getting that. So it kind of depends, honestly, what the sale is, because if I can add in those things and make it perfect the first time, then I will. If not, then, I just try to work around it and say, okay, let's at least do like black and clinical, or, if she's like, my ends are super dry and I don't know, I'm trying to think, like advanced hydrating I do sometimes, but I really love the clinical. And here's what else is funny is that with my girls, I feel like we all have our things that we love. Like
Mhm.
Sarah Linger the other day was like, I love the anti-frizz. And I was like, what? You use that in your hair? Like if I cannot use that. So we all have things that we love and we see. And like, one of us will say like, my customer really loves, I don't know, I'm trying to think of the bonding leave-in is one. And some people really don't like the smell of the bonding leave.
I think you're muted,
I think you're
Jade.
muted, Jade.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. I was bonding, echoing now. Hang on. Why is it doing that? Can you hear me okay?
I can now. Somebody was unmuted. I muted him. Okay, you're muted now. You're muted again. There. Okay.
Sorry, it was like talking back to me and I couldn't focus on what I was saying. I was just saying like you'll learn your customers too. I don't want to say trial and error, but I have some girls that like know that I'm not going to do the bonding anymore, because now that I've had 15 customers, some of them don't like the smell. So they kind of find their like bundles that they like to recommend, if that makes sense. And I think that's only truly come with like time, experience, repetition. But again, I try to keep it simple. Like if you can do the scrub, if they're oily, I think that's the best thing because it says right on there, who's this good for? Someone that wants to extend washes. So I'm also like, and I would say all my girls are like back office junkie. Ashley is probably on here and she's always like, oh, what's this button do? Like, what's this go to? What's this resource library page? Like I am in there every day looking at numbers, putting in carts together to be like, oh, we can double the PV on this sale. Oh, go in the resource page and read what these things are good for. She's laughing because she says that all the time. Like go in there and click on stuff and like just get confident and comfortable with all the things, the products, the numbers, the PV, everything.
That's the best advice. And I don't know if people even realize this because I think the back office and especially the resource library is so vast and overwhelming. If you will go to the resource library and go to the product categories like wellness, hair care, skincare, you can click on that and click on the products and it pulls up an information sheet. Y'all, those are gold. I print them off and literally put them in a binder. It took me 2 hours and I hated my life while I was doing it, but I use that binder all the time. It's big print because I need big print. You don't have to do that. You have access through your phone, but you're not clicking and you have it at an access. It tells you how to demo it. It tells you what the ingredients are. It tells you like what the key ingredients are, the active ingredients, and how to demo it and who's it for. Like educate yourself. That's something that Jade can't do for you. It's something I can't do for you, but go educate yourself. And it takes time to do that, but look through those sheets. And maybe when somebody asks about a product, take a minute, go look at that product and learn about it. And that's where the product knowledge comes from, is really diving into it and then making basic recommendations. And I love that they brought back the systems because it makes it so much easier to recommend a system. Now, there were some people asking, do you ever ask them what their budget is, or do you just make the recommendation?
Never. I've never asked anybody what their budget is. My normal cart is between I do not like to go below 150 to 220. I am not going like, I try to give them what they need. And I feel like that just comes with confidence. Like I've had people say like, oh gosh, well, I'm just gonna, think about it or wait. I don't know. I'm trying to think what they would say. Like wait for a lower price, or can you do a lower price? And I'm like, I wish I could, but like, I'm really here to help you. I do have sales often. I really do think this is a great one because you really need the black shampoo and the scalp scrub. And this is what the price normally would be. I will tell them what it normally is, which is going to be more. And then I'm like, so, you're saving 45% off or whatever it is, like I'm always going to tell them what it would be. But I have never asked anybody what their budget is.
I love that. And guys, like top enroller for VIPs all the time. And then her personal volume every month is insanity. She's always at the top of personal volume for my entire team, which is pretty much the whole company. So that's saying a lot right there. And I love the point she made, guys. Did you pick up on this? Because she utilizes the flash sales whenever she can to get them the best deal with the best products that they need. So pointing out, not excusing the cost, which I think we all do because people are like, oh, that's so expensive. Well, number one, to overcome that objection is, yeah, but it's going to last you 5 to 6 months. The shampoo you're buying right now, that's cheaper than the shampoo you're buying right now that's junk. Like that's the facts. So when people realize that, you have to overcome the objection and do it with the confidence. Like Jade said, when you have the confidence, people can read you. People have good BS monitors and they know when you're feeling confident or when you're being apologetic. And if you're apologetic, you're not going to close the deal because they're sensing that you're just trying to get something over on them. So the confidence is important, but also I love what she said. This is how much you're saving. Like you are already saving and this is what you need. This is your problem. This is what you need. Sometimes there's better sales, but you're already saving this much and then leave it. And sometimes they will, guys, and sometimes they won't. And that's okay too. Move on to the next person.
Yeah.
It's like buying bulk at Costco, all caps. It's true. Okay, Jade, how do you handle allergies or bad experiences with a line before switching to another?
With a line before switching to another.
Wait a second. Are you guys talking about like if they used a different product or if they used the wrong product within our product line? Nadia asked this question. Let's see if she.
Wrong product.
So if they were using in our line the wrong product.
Okay, like with you or someone else, or I guess that would just depend on.
Tried Monate before and had a bad reaction kind of thing.
I don't know. I feel like that's going to be like, you got to do some digging. Like, what was it? Was it an allergic reaction? Because unfortunately, like if you can't eat peanuts, you can't eat peanuts. Like if you can't use them, then you just can't. And I'm the first to say like, everything does not work for everybody because I was in the fitness world before I came in Monate. And like, that's just the way it is. Like you can't work out and eat and do all the things like the girl next door because it may not work for you. So I just think giving someone attention, I guess, to figure out like what it was, because I get a lot of people, oh, you used Monate. Ugh, I hated it. And I'm like, really? Tell me about that. Like, what did you use? And they tell me, and I'm like, well, you weren't using a conditioner. Black shampoo is not a conditioner. You can't use a hair mask every single day instead of a conditioner. Like they say these outrageous things. And I'm like, listen, I'm really good at what I do. I'm very confident in giving product recommendations. And I'm very confident that you were not using the products right. I'd love to give you a better experience. I'll be here when you're ready. Like, I feel like you can't push a rope. If they're allergic to it, I don't know. I get nervous with that stuff. If someone says like they're allergic, I'm like, don't use it, return it.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think she made the best reference. If you can't eat peanuts, you can't eat peanuts. I have a friend that is allergic to sunflower oil. Like that's in a lot of our stuff. And so sadly, they're not going to be able to use it. It doesn't mean the product's bad or it's a bad product. It just means they can't use it. And so if they have allergies, listen, if they have bad allergies, they're going to be the first one that wants to know ingredients. Send them the ingredients and the products you recommended. It's right there. If you go to those information sheets that we were talking about, all of that information is there. So you can do the digging for them and send it to them and let them decide. But if they have allergies, they're watching and they know what they can and can't do. So send them the ingredient list. Somebody had a customer with an allergy to coconut oil. That's a problem. And it doesn't mean coconut oil is bad. It just means they can't use it. Let me see what else. I love what she said about she Googles the science behind Monate and sends that to them when they ask what she uses. That's simple and takes the ball out of your court and lessens the chance of you word vomiting on people. I think the biggest picture thing that I've learned today is she does not word vomit. She's very concise. She's very confident. She's very to the point. And so if you feel like you've been doing that, then it's time to really refine it and look at it. And guys, this is being recorded. We are going to make this available to everyone for playback. We're actually going to download this one because Zoom has a really sneaky way of deleting our recorded trainings. We're going to keep this one because I think you guys all need this information. Can you drop the script in the chat about being confident and letting me help you when you're ready with correct products?
Um,
She's probably not going to type it up like right now. We can go back. Like I said, the recording will be available.
if I could re-say, I don't really remember what I said. I think I just said, I'm confident with what I do and giving product recommendations. So I'd love to give you a better experience and I'll be here when you're ready. Something of that. Like, you don't have to say it like exactly like I'm saying it, but just be confident and you'll find your own verbiage. Cause like, you may not talk like me, and like, so you kind of have to find your way with like how you speak and just be the most important thing I can say is confidence is the most important piece to your business. Like, don't think that you have to duplicate every little thing that somebody that's succeeding is doing to be successful, because that's the furthest thing from the truth. Like, you have to truly find yourself in your business. Like, you have to say, like, who do I want to be in Monet? Like, how do I want to portray my business? How do I want to speak to my customers? Be crafty. And I think what happens is that when gosh, I can't even remember her name now. There was a girl in Monet like 2 or 3 years ago, and she was crushing it, and she was a director. And I felt like, oh my gosh, well, I just need to do everything the way that she's doing it, and then I'll be successful. That does not work. And it made me so more self-conscious and not confident, because I was literally just trying to copy her. And that just made me like, okay, great. So I'm just like copying what and I just had to snap out of it. And I was like, I'm just going to stop looking at everything Monet and all these Monet girls and how they're doing everything. And I'm just going to find Jade. Who is Jade? What's my content going to look like? Let my personality come out and like truly be yourself and be confident. Like, I cannot tell you enough. Like, the verbiage will start coming out like word vomit, and it will sound perfect and professional, and you will feel so good about yourself and your business. And that is literally like my best advice that I could give anybody is that.
Okay, you just mic drop. Everybody's like, that's what I needed to hear. That was actually going to be one of my final questions, is what's your advice to new market partners? And she just gave it, guys. And it's so true. It's so true. So learn. Like, the awesome thing about these calls is we bring in people that are killing it in their business. And like Jade said, take this, take this, take this, figure out what is you. Be you. Your authentic voice is your authentic voice. And if you're trying to be Jade, it's going to come by as disingenuous to people because it's not you. So find your voice and figure it out. And if you're frustrated right now, learn. Go back and watch this video and learn and take notes and start practicing how you're going to do it. And you're going to screw up some, and that's okay. And sometimes customers will walk away, and that's okay too. There's billions of people out there that have hair. So I promise it's okay. You can go find more. But showing up authentically is a big thing. Okay. Do you give different cart? Okay. This has popped up a million times. I think she kind of answered it without answering it. She sends the cart she sends. They're asking, do you give like cart options and let them choose?
Nope. No options. Like, recommendations. Here's a sale. I'll send the link when you're ready. Make it simple. The more options you give, like, well, here's a menu, choose 3, or here's options to buy. Like, they don't know. You're the expert. You tell them exactly what they need. A confused mind will always say no. That's my girl, Ashley. We say that all the time. The more confusion, the more likely they are to say no. And another thing I was going to say, what you just said about like, just, being confident. Like, the last thing I would say as far as advice for you guys is that mistakes and failure, if you want to call it that, are the best things that your business could have. You cannot learn diddly squat without either of those things. Like, even with leadership, I've said things and done things sometimes and been like I shouldn't have handled it like that. I reacted emotionally. Now I need to go back and fix it. And next time I'll be hyper aware that I feel like I know how to handle it now. Or with a customer that says, oh, I hate these products or whatever, like all these things that happen. Somebody saying no to you. Don't react emotionally. I know it sounds like whatever, but like, be a boss of your business. Be professional. Hold your head high. It's okay to fall. It's okay to fail. It's okay for somebody to say no. Like, 2.5 years of my business have been that. I was an MMP that did not quit. I was an MMB that did not quit. I've been at I hit with 6 different MMBs. If somebody quits on you, you're not quitting. You're finding your people in your business. You're finding your ideal customers. Like, this is all part of being a business owner. The most successful people in the world have had the hardest route to get there. It's not easy, and you cannot quit. So don't get frustrated because someone says no. Don't get frustrated because you're like, well, shoot, now I've been doing the hair quiz. Now, whatever, like, just be confident. Tell yourself today what your goal is going to be. I'm a big person with like goal setting. Like, what's your goal by the end of this month? What's your goal next month? Look at yourself like you look at the person that you love the most in Monate and say, she's my inspo, and I'm going to find myself like, just like she did, not copy her, not try to do things just like her. I'm going to get there, and they're going to be asking me, how do you sign up VIPs? And I'm not going to say what Jade said. Like, take those things and find confidence in them, and don't take them and feel defeated.
The best advice that I've heard in a long time, guys. One last question, and I did forget to ask this. What do you set up for their flex ship? Because when you're setting up a cart, you have to do that next order. So what's your standard? What do you do?
I always do the oil, because for me, if I go and I see that it's not the oil, then I don't touch it, because I know that they have changed what I set it up as. So I only do the oil. It's easy to change. I make sure they always have the VIP concierge turned on. So when I send my broadcast, I do tell them, and I have a little graphic thing that I send out, and I say, if you don't want this on and want privacy with your account, by all means, but just know that I cannot manage your flex ship. If you have it on and you don't change, I explain that to them, like, very simply in a graphic, that if I see that it's changed, I know that you need it, basically. So I don't touch it if it's not the oil, if that makes sense. So it's always the Rejuvenique oil.
Okay, so what if there's a sale and you've got the oil in their first order? What's your second order? What's the second option?
You mean like if they buy the oil?
Yeah, because a lot of times we'll have a flash sale. Well, not a lot, but there's times where we have a flash sale that includes the oil or something. Do you not ever include that in the first order, or do you always just wait till the second?
No, I do a lot. I do keep it in there a lot, but I always still put the oil there, and
Okay.
communicate with them through broadcast and send out the sales enough to know that, like, some of them will say, hey, don't touch my flex ship. Like, I want another oil or whatever. And then some of them will do the promos a lot, like, I feel like I have a different business, maybe because I have a lot of customers that like shop every single flash sale. And so when I see it, most of the times I remember, like, this girl's bought like every sale this month, I'm going to push her flex ship out. So I normally just push it out unless they've changed the products in it. And I still oil even if they bought it in the first order.
Now I have another question. How do you manage that? So if you're managing the flex ships for over 3,000 people, do you just go in each day? How do you do that?
Normally once or twice a week. And I'll go through and I'll have it where, in Jen, I feel like she might be on this call. She actually just taught me this, but in the report, I'll do like first name, whatever it says, flex ship ID, and the PV total. And so if it's the PV total of the oil, I just push it out. And I've honestly I don't know. It doesn't I feel like it's just part of my business now. It really doesn't take me long. I normally try to do it at least 3 or 4 days at a time. It might take me 10 minutes, maybe. I just hit the little button and just push the date out.
Because they're shopping the flash sales.
Because normally they're shopping the flash sales. Yeah. Unless I see the PV's like 300 or like some outrage, it's over 105, which is the PV of the oil, then I don't touch it, because I know that they have it set up. And I have a lot of customers that do that. They have certain like wellness and skincare that they want every 30 days. And so I don't touch it, even if they shop the sale, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sorry, we've got somebody unmuted.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's very helpful, because I think this is an overwhelming part of it, is how to manage and what to do. And guys, remember, your customer service for your business partners is critical. Like, the customer service that you give your people will mean they're staying or not staying. And I think Jade, even messaging, okay, do you reach out every 60 days? Retention is everything.
See, I feel like, again, everybody's going to find their way in their business. in my way may not be the right way, but for me, it works great. Like I try to keep things as simple as possible. So even for me, I don't reach out about the flex ship at all. I literally just push it out if I see that it's the oil. And then I've had people say, oh, shoot, I wanted the oil. And I'm like, all good, easy fix. Go in, push the date back. But like, if they don't say anything to me, and I try to make it as easy as possible for them because I want them to stay with me. I'm not going to message them every 30, 60 days. And I honestly, I just physically cannot. So it's so easy for me to sit down for 10 minutes once or twice a week, push their flex ship out and let them choose. They know how to look. Like, do you want the sale or do you want the flex ship? So those things I try to keep things as simple for me and for them.
Okay. And we've got people asking about what kind of a graphic you have and if you can share that. They want to know all the things. I think it's just basic instructions on how to turn on, like that they're letting you manage that, which some people may not realize you can do that. You can have your customers turn on a management mode where you can help them with their flex ship. Doesn't give you access to all their personal stuff necessarily. You can't go order 5 million things for them, but you can push or adjust a flex ship.
Ashley, she's on it. She's answering everything because we all do the same thing. Everything on my team is literally black and white. There's no gray. We all do the same thing. So she just wrote in there and said, it's just a picture of the, like how to turn it on is all it is.
Ashley, girl, you're with the program here. I love it though, but look, guys, they're following a system and it's really simple. And you have a good system when everybody knows that everybody does it and it works. Eric taught us that. And then having the skills. So teach your people the skills, but learn them yourself. So I think your homework after all of this that we've learned is go through and figure out how you can fine tune your process even better. You don't have to adopt everything that Jade does, but I would say it would be really smart to take a close look at how she's doing it because clearly it's working really well. And it's working really well for her team. They're all duplicating it. Everybody's jumping in here and saying the same thing that Jade does.
Like killers. I have a girl who just signed up. I think it's not even been a year. She was in like top 40, I think, income earners. And she is right on my tail with VIPs. And she literally everything and all of them every single leader I have is teaching their team how to do the same thing. And every single one of them, whether they say it or not, they're like, they're not 130. I'm like, but girl, I was not an AMM signing up 40 VIPs a month. Like they're just on the cusp of what's coming. So it's really cool to see, like, and again, all these things build your confidence, like finding what works for you and then just duplicate it and don't change things. I mean, I'm like a broken record. I say the same thing. I've been doing the same thing now for over 3 years.
Well, clearly it's still working, my friend. Clearly. She's always at the top. And it's not but she's got gorgeous hair. Yes, she has gorgeous hair. But she figured out how to do the business, guys, and everybody can do that. Everybody can do that. You don't have to have mermaid hair like Jade's to be able to share confidently about these incredible products. And I think that's, yes, she's providing info. Like that's it. Anyway, okay. So any last thoughts? I know we're a little bit over. We went a little bit over, but I don't think anybody cares. Nobody's mad about that. Any last thoughts, last tips, last advice before we let you go get back to your babies?
Everybody's so sweet. I don't think I could have said anything more. If I was hoping someone would give me the best advice, go back to what I said about like finding your person in Monat and just using that for inspiration and motivation to mirror, in your own way. And you are so special. Like there's no two people that are just identical. If you guys look at like the top income earners, the top VIPs, like they're not like the same person. Like that would be creepy. Like be your own person and just be confident in everything that you do. Every single thing. Find what makes you confident. For me, after my kids, I found like, it sounds so silly, but like, I'm not drinking water. I'm not eating good. I'm not working out. I'm not putting any time into myself. And I'm supposed to be this like big, confident, like business owner. Like what makes you feel good? Walk outside, whatever it is, read a book, all those things you've got to find and pour into yourself so that you can pour into your business and block out the noise. Who cares, honestly, like what I'm doing and what my team and the next girl's team and who's doing this. Like tunnel vision is the best vision. Put tunnel vision on. Obviously, yes, learn from calls, but I'm just saying like stop comparing. Comparison is a thief of success and your happiness. Do not do that. Like, I did that for a whole year. It got me nowhere. So just like I said, find your way, find your rhythm, and then duplicate it with your team. That's the beauty of this, is that you build your own team. So build the team that you want and do the things that you guys brainstorm together. My leaders, like, I could not do this without them. When we have a sale, I'm like, okay, help me. What are we doing? Like, what should we do for this? Do you like this? Do you not like this? How should I be doing these leadership calls? How are your girls feeling? Like, communicate, build an empire together. And that will, take you a long way. So
It will. Best word, best advice. Oh my gosh, this was absolute fire. Yes, everybody. Yes, yes, yes. It's recorded. We're going to push out the recordings. Everybody has access. It's open to everyone. 100%. Jade, thank you for lifting the curtain and letting us see behind it. I think you answered so many questions for people that are struggling. And, my best wish for everyone is that you'll take this and utilize it and see growth. That's the whole point for these trainings. So thank you for pouring into everyone. You didn't have to do that. We appreciate you so, so much. We're trying to get her to the Rev Squad this year. She's going to try to sweet talk her husband into coming.
I'm learning. Thank you so much for having me.
Love your face. Beautiful girl. Thank you again. You guys have a wonderful Saturday. We'll see you back next Saturday. Let's make this a final close, guys. Push hard. We're focusing hard on that core rank with Eric Worre. Everybody get out there and do this and focus on it. How many people can you help hit the rank of MMP? It just lifts that number for the entire company. We are on massive growth momentum right now. Let's keep it up. I love your faces. That's it for today. Mwah.
Thank you. Bye, guys.